welcome to the Blue Couch.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for being here. So let's talk about the role of AI. What is the role of AI in crimes concerning child sexual abuse?
Yeah, that's an interesting question because until recently AI was really here to support law enforcement officers on the fight against child sexual abuse crimes. So there are several techniques where AI can help law enforcement to review these materials in a faster way and cut investigation times. But recently, since 2022, where we have seen the release of AI-generated models to the public, including ChatGPT and other large language models, the paradigm has changed, actually. So now it's possible to generate images from text, which on one hand is great because we can have fantastic images, but on the other hand it allows offenders to generate child sexual abuse material using text prompts. So that's very concerning for law enforcement's work because they had already a lot of cases and a lot of materials to review. And now they have other materials which are very realistic, so we cannot distinguish from real child sexual abuse material. And so they might be investigating cases where the children don't even exist. So it's really adding a lot to law enforcement's current work, which is already super busy with so many cases.
Big topic to deal with and a lot to handle or to decide in the future.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, and we are really in changing times with these new AI-generated models, where we can see how many fantastic things they can do, honestly. But on the other hand, how many dangerous and risky things. So we need to look at AI as a double-edged sword. So on one hand, it can have a huge potential for all type of purposes, but we need to be careful when we use it to make sure we use it in a responsible way.
Which other topics does your institute deal with concerning AI, robotics, and of course police forces?
Yes, actually our institute works a lot with law enforcement. Our main audience is law enforcement. We have another big project. So this one that I was describing is within the scope of the AI for Safer Children. But we have another project with Interpol to develop guidelines for the responsible use of AI. So this is the responsible use of AI by law enforcement. So this is really important because law enforcement are in a powerful position. They hold a lot of responsibilities on the use of technology, especially. And when we talk about powerful technologies such as this one, we need to make sure it's used in a human rights compliant manner. So we don't want police forces to do even worse than the good. And so we have developed guidelines with Interpol to support law enforcement in this job, because it's difficult to also take these decisions on how to use this properly. So we really want to support these decisions to make sure they are human rights compliant all the time.
Seems to be a very abstract topic. Can you please elaborate a bit on the best practices?
Sure. So it's based on several principles. So we have gathered principles from AI ethics combined with principles from policing, and to develop a set of principles that are based on minimization of harm, human autonomy, privacy. So several general principles from where we take more concrete recommendations. So, for example, on fairness, we want to make sure that the databases where AI is trained are representative of the population, so that we have the systems accurate for all demographics, for example, and we don't have more errors in one population than in the other. And we have several recommendations like this, for example, on automation bias, because people are very fascinated with AI, which makes sense because it's really a very powerful tool, but officers cannot rely over AI 100% because there are several errors. It's still a technology that is based on data from humans, and humans make errors when they generate the data, when they collect the data, when they train the model. So there's a lot of errors accumulated, and it needs to be the officer to look at the results and be critical and say, okay, this can help me to, for example, prioritize these materials, but this one it's not relevant, so I need to exclude it. So it's also difficult to be conscious that AI is not 100% sure because it's 99% of the times, but that 1% it's important to make sure that law enforcement work is always trustful and ethical and fair.
Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you.